I never thought tying is essential. They are crude, unspeakably plain. But maybe they have a glimmer of potential. If allied with my vision and brain. Lion King, released in 1994 and is directed by Roger Allers, who also adapted it for the Broadway musical, and Rob Minkoff, who also directed Stuart Little, Haunted Mansion, and Mr. Peabody. This film has an amazing voice cast that includes Whoopi Goldberg, Cheech Marin, and Jim Cummins as the hyenas, Jeremy Irons as Scar, Rowan Atkins as Zazu, Ernie Sabella as Pumbaa, Nathan Lane as Timon, Mariah Kelly as Nala, Matthew Broderick as older Simba, Jonathan Taylor Thomas as young Simba, and the legendary voice of James Earl Jones as Mufasa. Do it again. Mufasa. Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa. And this is episode 82 of Caleb Watches Movies. Episode 100 is right around the corner. We are actually coming up on the 1-year anniversary of this channel. I just can't believe it's gone by so quickly. And today we are talking about my favorite animated film. And when you think of cartoons or animation, everything I feel gets compared to The Lion King. I kind of think that's a little unfair for fans to compare everything to this movie, but that also means that this movie is extremely well produced and has a huge, huge fan base. This movie came out in 1994 and it's still talked about today, and it's hailed as one of the best animated features of all time. And I remember going to see this movie. It was one of the first movies I ever saw in theaters, and I remember the theater being packed, and as a family were trying to find seats, and the only seats that were available were right there in the front row. Which nowadays it's not so bad because all the seats, you can recline in them. They got like heated seats, they got the footrests that come up. Back then, these theater seats were not so comfortable and they didn't recline at all. And I just remember being there watching that opening sequence with all the animals coming to Pride Rock and me just going, it was an amazing and magical experience, one of the few that really sparked that bug in me as the movie theater being this magical place to go to. The Lion King is a loose adaptation of William Shakespeare's Hamlet and follows the story of young lion cub Simba. And Simba is destined to be king one day of Pride Rock. I mean, he's a very rambunctious young lion cub, but his father Mufasa tries to calm him and ease him into the role of one day being king. But lurking in the shadows is Mufasa's brother Scar, who is jealous of Mufasa and hatches a scheme to kill him and take Pride Rock for his own. Yeah, this has got Shakespeare written all over it. You have brothers dueling over the throne of a kingdom. You have the rightful heirs to the throne. You have the weird, creepy, kind of witch, mythical creatures and the hyenas. And then you have the stock characters of Timon and Pumbaa when they show up. And I know my students would hate to hear this, but you can find Shakespeare's work in a lot of contemporary pieces. Because his themes, his ideas, his characters are so universal that you can put them anywhere, in any setting, make them whatever creature that you want them to be, and yet the story is still powerful and still remains the same. So The Lion King, I mean, what more is there to say about this film? Again, it is one of the best of all time. It was a movie that I watched religiously as a kid, constantly. There had so many wear lines in that VHS tape that we had. And I have to think probably why this film is so widely known is because of the original songs written by Elton John. The Circle of Life, Be Prepared, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? All of these songs almost everyone knows by heart. Whether you're a film buff or a casual fan, you have heard of The Lion King, you have probably seen it, and you probably know the song. There's such memorable songs too. I love the way this movie starts with the opening sunrise, and then that singer going, and to this day, no one knows the actual words to the beginning of that song. My wife actually thinks that the background singers are saying pink pajamas, penguins on the bottom. And it totally makes sense. Take a listen. Pink pajamas, penguins on the bottom. Pink pajamas, penguins on the bottom. And I love her for that. What actually surprised me, and I didn't learn this until a couple of years ago, is that Hans Zimmer is the one that created the score of this film. And this score is beautiful. It doesn't sound anything like what Hans Zimmer usually does, so to find out that he did it, I was like, wow, you were so versatile. This is why you're my favorite. His composition of the Shadowlands sequence is just beautiful. I could listen to that all day. Now, going along with the excellent music that this film has, the animation of this is absolutely beautiful. The animators are so detailed in getting the mannerisms of lions and cats in this film. And believe me when I tell you, I know how felines move. I have 5 of them in this house. And the way that Scar, Mufasa, and Simba move around, they feel like they're actual cats. And this last time watching it, I have to say, little young Simba is just like my little Ray. Little Ray, because he's a little ray of sunshine. He's not really a kitty, he is a couple of years old, but I refer to all cats and dogs as kitties and puppies. No matter how big or how old you are either a big puppy or a big kitty. Alright, now that my psycho's out of the way, let's get back to the movie review. But the use of color in this film is beautiful. There are some scenes in this film that look like they're actual paintings of Africa. And watching the climax of this scene where Scar is confronting Simba and the camera looks like it's doing a 360, I was thinking, I think this is the first 360 shot that I've ever seen in an animated feature. This is so cool. This film was so revolutionary. I call The Lion King 1/3 of the golden animated trilogy that Disney has produced, also including Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. These 3 are the pinnacle of Disney's success. And it's a complete success all the way around, especially with the voice cast. James Earl Jones as the legendary Mufasa. Yeah, we want a voice that's regal, that's kingly, and when it's talking, no one else is talking, everyone stops and listens. Yeah, that's James Earl Jones. Matthew Broderick's voice has a very young, innocent, and sympathetic tone to it that I really love for older Simba. And I love that this film came out in 1994, and then almost a decade later, Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane, who voiced Timon, got together back on Broadway to do the producers. Nathan Lane's voice, that's one that stands out there. You got the Brooklyn accent, but also like totally nasally up here. Wah, Pumbaa, come on, wah! But actually my favorite voice in this movie, even more so than James Earl Jones, is Jeremy Irons as Scar. Jeremy Irons' voice just screams villain to me. It's gravelly, it's been through fights, but it's also very timid and very calculated and very poignant in what it says. And when you think of all those aspects in just a voice, that defines an excellent film villain. And growing up, I always thought that Scar was definitely evil and he needs to be stopped at all costs. But watching it this time, I actually sympathize with Scar a lot. Think of it, he's Mufasa's brother, Mufasa, who is the big kahuna of Pride Rock. Scar is just the brother, tossed aside, probably not getting any from the ladies. But Scar, to me, as a kid, set the tone of what film villains should be. And it's really weird to see Jeremy Irons in any other role other than a villain. Like in Die Hard 3, that's perfect, but in Aragon, when he's like the wise old mentor, it was very weird for me. Well, a lot of things about that movie was weird and bad. But I don't think I have to recommend this movie to anyone because I'm pretty sure that everyone growing up in the 90s saw this movie. And I have a theory that this movie, along with all the other animated movies that Disney came out with in the late 80s and the 90s, is really why everyone is so angry and so effed up today. All of us saw this film when it first came out. We were kids, and now we're older, and now we're in more positions of power in the country. And I don't know about you, but when I saw Mufasa's death for the first time, I was destroyed. That really messed with me as a kid, and I know that it messed with everyone when they watched it for the first time. Even watching it for this review, I was affected by it. And watching it, I'm just thinking to myself, how did we get by as kids? This was a terrible thing to see as a child. Disney, man, I'm telling you, they're screwing up everything, and they're the reason why we're so messed up today. For all of you elders out there who are watching this, on YouTube, if you're blaming millennials for a lot of your problems, I say blame Disney, because they're the ones that effed all of us up. So guys, in the end, The Lion King is a masterpiece. It is wonderful. It is the pinnacle of what Disney animation can do and has done. It has beautiful animation, the voice cast is stellar, but really where this film gets its popularity is from the music and from the original songs. Everyone knows the lyrics to Circle of Life, Be Prepared, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Little side note, watching that scene this time, I realized that my young brain did not comprehend what was going on in that scene. As a kid, I thought they were just playing and they were being best friends. But watching it now and looking at that look that Nala is giving Simba, Guys, you want that in a look in a girl that you're dating. And another side note on this movie, if you hear anyone start singing "I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts," just listen in and listen to see if they go past the part in the song where Zazu was singing it in the movie. I can guarantee you that 9 out of 10 times, no one goes past that part, because no one has ever bothered to learn the lyrics after that. I've heard it several times when I've been teaching or when I've just been passing people down the hallway. People will sing that song up to that point and not go any farther because of The Lion King. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, diddly-dee, there they are, standing in the road. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head. You give 'em a twist, a flick of the wrist, that's what the showman said. Ha ha! It's a little thing that's always irritated me, and I'm happy to share the rest of the lyrics with you. So everyone, I'm gonna give The Lion King 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
All right, let's go.
I'm actually very interested to see how this new CGI version of the film coming out in a couple of years, directed by Jon Favreau, how that's going to compare to this movie. They're calling it live action, which it's not really live action, because it's all going to be CGI, which is not live action. But they did get James Earl Jones back as Mufasa, so I mean, I guess they're on the right track. All right, everyone, so we are moving right along to episode 83 of Caleb Watches Movies. We are almost to episode 100, and episode 83 is my favorite sports movie. And there are so many. Growing up, you had films like The Sandlot, Rookie of the Year, and then later on in years, you got awesome films like Remember the Titans and Miracle. All deserve a place on my favorite sports movie list. But really, this one takes the cake. And your hint for this amazing tear-jerking film is, you don't knock them out, you don't have a home. Oh God, just thinking about the end of that movie. It's getting me going just thinking about it. And I put this movie coming up as my number 5 favorite film of all time. And I'll explain why the next time you see me. So everyone, have you seen The Lion King? Of course you have. What am I saying? Please, comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my favorite sports movie. In the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.